everybody.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Mo and Katie Show. We're two friends from two different worlds, coming together in harmony for one podcast. We're random, ridiculous, and have been taking humor seriously since 2018.
Each week, we'll share two positive news stories, a quirky fact, today's weird holiday, a shared experience, and we may even play a game, all while punning the crap out of each other.
No, you can't say that.
Fine.
It's The Mo and Katie Show. Gratitude, humor, positivity.
Could you consent, please?
We don't have that cool voice that goes, "The meeting is now recording."
The meeting is now adjourned. But it is recording, so. I got little elf ears again.
That's true.
I got
You don't have elf ears.
I got my Montgomery Biscuits hat that Boomer ate.
That Boomer ate.
It's my favorite hat. It's my second one I've had of these. So. Anyway.
I know, because the mascot's name is Mo, right?
Mm-hmm. Mo Biscuits.
See? Mo Biscuits. Why have fewer biscuits when you can have Mo Biscuits?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question we all ask ourselves.
Not all of us. Maybe just you.
Maybe just me.
Long time no see.
Audio. I'm gonna hit recording on my phone.
You're fine. We're just gonna take the audio and I'm just gonna. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's been. Well, last time I saw you, it was this odd mesh of night and morning because we flew on a red eye.
Yeah, 3 legs.
We flew 3 legs in a red eye. It was crazy.
Yeah. Worth it.
There was a little sleeping, sort of. There was a lost and recovered ear pod. There was all sorts of things.
Yes. All the things that you want in a trip.
All the things.
Well, it's good to see you, Katie Kins.
Let's pick this up. It's good to see you too, Moe.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. Let's go ahead and officially kick this sucker off. You ready?
Oh, that's right. I forgot we have a standard intro. My bad.
Yeah, there's a whole thing we do.
Well, don't you start it off?
I do.
Okay. Well, let's do it. God, it's like pulling teeth.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Katie, and this is the Mo and Katie Show.
See how we do bopper heads?
Good to see you, Moe. This is the first normal, well, if anything about our podcast is normal, but this is the first normal podcast we've done in a few weeks, just with all the stuff we've had going on. So yeah. And hopefully everybody enjoyed our non-standard, abnormal, not normal podcast from Santa Barbara last week. That was fun. Yes. So, that was
really around Santa Barbara. That was fantastic.
Interviewed statues and saw turtles and did all kinds of things. It was super fun. Santa Barbara, beautiful. Highly recommend.
Yeah. 5 stars on Yelp.
1.5 thumbs up.
Poor Dewey. Yes. We met a man who last year, about a year ago, lost half of his right thumb when he was helping secure a horse, and the horse basically kind of freaked out and he severed the top part of his thumb. And so that was the big joke is every time he did something good, you didn't get 2 thumbs up. You got the even more rare, more coveted 1.5 thumbs up.
1.5 thumbs up. And that became kind of one of our, I think it's going to continue to be one of our things. So.
Is it 1.5 thumb up or 1.5 thumbs up? Because you're not technically, you're more than one.
Yeah. So I think that puts it in the plural realm.
Okay. So 1.5 thumbs up.
Yeah. Conversation I never thought I'd have to have, but.
Well, we have a lot of those. You're welcome.
Well, listeners, it is awfully good to be back in your ears again. And we're hoping actually that we've got some new listeners from some of the friends that we made and connected with at the Story to Standing Ovation workshop in Santa Barbara. A lot of people said they were going to listen. So guys, we hope you're listening. We might just give you a shout out by name.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good stuff. So we had a great time. Hope you are all enjoying your spring. My goodness, it's March already. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
Well,
February was a bit of a blur.
Yeah, well, there was a January. Then there was a February. Well, we've gone through this every year. Yeah.
We're just marching right along. That's right. That wasn't even All right. Well, anyway, it is.
I'm gonna Sousa you
where
for
we
that.
are.
I'm gonna Sousa you for that post, for that joke. Damn it, I messed it up. Well, it took me 14 minutes, but nothing 76 trombones can't fix.
Did you hear mine? That was good.
What did you say?
I said I'm going to hit you in the head with a 2x4.
All right, can I
I'll
go?
laugh at my joke if you won't.
I know you will. That's why I don't have to.
Santa Barbara and John Philip Sousa and people with not all of their digits are all things going on in the world. Please tell us what else is going on in the world.
I will, but first I have to ask a question. So, Kitty, have you ever had an MRI?
I don't think I have ever had an MRI.
Oh, really?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so listeners, have you ever had an MRI?
So. Well, wait.
Oh, I heard a yes. So the thing with MRIs is they are very loud and they're very intimidating. And you're in this enclosed space and you have to lie like perfectly still. So imagine a 4-year-old kid having to do that. I don't know much about 4-year-old kids except that, well, my best friend eats like one, and I have the attention span of one. But just imagine a kid having to stay in there, lay still, and be unfazed by all the beeping and booping that's going on. And imagine this kid can do it using less anesthesia than normal for a 4-year-old kid. I know you're wondering how. I'm going to tell you. The Lego Foundation, and I picked this essentially because I was thinking about Kristen Suggs. We haven't said hi to her recently. So Kristen, hi, I'm thinking about you. And this is my proof that I'm thinking about Kristen. So the Lego Foundation has a 500-piece kit of a miniature MRI scanner. And basically what it does is they use that to kind of coach the kids ahead of time to make it a less intimidating process. And I thought this is really cool. So it's a Lego employee and also a Denmark hospital. They kind of started this passion project in 2015, and it's currently in over 100 hospitals worldwide. But what I like about it is, they say it takes a highly stressful experience and it converts it into a positive, calm, and playful one. So the kids get an idea of what's going to happen ahead of time. So they're playing with the Lego, and there's even training videos to help the hospital people explain to the kids. So, there's just like all the learning that's going on here. And so they just announced that they're going to give away, the Lego Foundation is going to give away 600 more of these kits. And they had over 1,500 applications in the first day that this was open.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the funniest part.
That's fantastic.
Here's the funniest part. Yes, Lego, I love it. Kristen Suggs, I love you. The fact that we're making play and de-stressing kids and using less meds. Yeah, I get it. This is the best part about this article. So I think a lot of times when you meet people, like we met a friend, VA from Finland, I think a lot of times the Nordic companies and countries all get kind of just pushed together, just like in this article. Because I'm reading about the Lego Foundation, I'm reading about all this work going on in Denmark, and I'm thrown for a loop when I get to this line in the article. Close to 100 hospitals across the world have already benefited from IKEA's pilot program. Then last month, so I'm reading all these things and I'm like, how did IKEA? So I reread the article, which I never do. I reread the article. I read it in reading mode. I even did a search for IKEA and it only came up once. So my conjecture is that whoever wrote the article was like, yeah, we've got an all caps letter or word from some Nordic company. So, Lego, IKEA, all the same thing.
Must be IKEA.
Yeah. So, except that one's got 499 pieces or 501 pieces. Anyway, this is Lego, hilarious. Not IKEA. And I just thought it was really cool that they're helping these kids and they're using Lego. And again, it's this whole permission to play thing that we always talk about to make things easier and less intimidating and to kind of calm kids down. So I think that's really cool.
Amazing.
So kudos to Lego and kudos to IKEA just for being in the same origin country area. So yeah, I just thought that was,
it's, kind of as a throwback, if, any of you faithful listeners who have been with us since way back, you did a story about MRIs, like one of the first 3 episodes we shot 2 years ago about environments that were created in MRIs. So that's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that. But I love that, for a child to have to go through a medical procedure, of course, is traumatic. And I mean, it's traumatic for anyone, but especially for a child. So that people are being innovative and figuring out ways to make it more more tolerable for them.
Yeah, I
So
thought that was cool.
I love that. So
Yeah.
thanks, Lego, and thanks, IKEA, for just being awesome. You
Yeah, just
get a
being
shout
a
out anyway, so.
four-lettered, all-capped company.
Thanks for the meatballs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going
Sorry.
to take us from IKEA to Elkhart, Indiana, which have nothing to do with each other. So that is a, segue, the non sequitur segue.
Yes.
And I want to talk though about an Arby's restaurant in Elkhart, Indiana, and they have a loyal worker, a loyal employee, and his name is Jack Burkett. Now,
Okay.
Jack happens to be 91 years old. And how this all came about is he and his late wife used to eat 3 meals a day at the Arby's in Elkhart, Indiana. They were committed.
Yeah.
And she passed away. He was lonely. And so about 10 years ago, he said he wanted to stay active. So he started working at the restaurant. He said he loves the food and he wanted to stay active. So he started out as a lobby attendant. He didn't want them to pay him. He wanted to work for free. The manager, Rosemary Gresso, said he just hates to sit at home. He wants to be somewhere. And so he started to work. He has been there for 10 years now. He can do everything in the table. He can do everything in the restaurant, wipe down the tables, wash the dishes. He usually works 7 days a week, but they don't even put him on the schedule anymore because he just shows up. He just shows up every single day.
That's awesome.
And he just continues to love it. He loves socializing with people. And so if you happen to be at Arby's in Elkhart, Indiana, get in there and say hi to Jack. He'll be there doing something, so you'll be able to find him.
I love it. Did you just get some mood lighting? It looks like your lighting changed. What happened?
I'm in my studio at work, and it has a motion detector light, and apparently I haven't moved around.
There we go. I was just like, I didn't see the actual change of lighting, but I just noticed that there was like some up lighting, and it was very dramatic.
Well, my story was very dramatic, and then also in the in the mood of being transparent too. I've noticed my earrings are hitting my earbuds, so I'm going to take those.
That's
out
a little
too.
extra audio for you people. This is real life, kids.
Hot mess of a podcast.
Brought to you by the hottest of messes, Mo and Katie.
That's right. Anyway, so I like a good Arby's roast beef and cheddar. So if you happen to be in Indiana, Jack will serve you one up. So
hook us up.
There you go. So let's see. We're going to be talking a little bit today, just to give a little preview. We're going to be talking about traveling a little bit and some things that have to do with travel. So I have a quirky fact for you, Mo. Now, you and I on this trip that we just took, we were in Chicago, right? On the way back?
Apparently, yes.
I think we were. It was literally like, I think 4 a.m. when we landed in Chicago.
Sure. Yeah, let's just, for the sake of the podcast, say we were.
We were in Chicago. Now,
Now,
do you know what the nickname of Chicago is? It's called
the Windy City.
Do you know why it's called the Windy City?
Because Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, actually was born and raised there.
Not the Windy City. The Windy City. Now, people think it's called the Windy City because they think it's a weather thing. They think it's because it's windy in Chicago. But actually, here's my well-researched quirky fact for today. It was coined by 19th century journalists who were referring to the fact that its residents were windbags and full of hot air.
I thought DC had that moniker.
Nice. So that's why it has nothing to do with the weather. It's called the Windy City because a journalist believed that the residents were windbags.
Wow.
So there's that.
That's not a good write-up, is it?
So, fun fact about Chicago, which I, again, can confirm we were very tired and changing plane gates, and I'm not sure if we knew where we were at that point. But anyway, that's how the Windy City got its name. Well-researched quirky fact.
Wow.
Bam.
Nice. So earlier I made a Sousa pun, which I have to admit was not, it was not spur of the moment. Okay. You know why?
Okay. Why?
Because today is Marching Music Day to celebrate the marching music genre. And I figure,
Awesome.
I know your tuba pun was because you played the tuba. which I didn't realize, and I discovered it along with everybody else, and you were the director and all these other stuff. Anyway, I just thought it was cool that today is Marching Music Day, and it's not lost on me that it's in the month of March, which now that we know how that happens. But here's something I didn't know is that the origin of Marching Music Day is actually traced back to the founding of DCI, which is Drum Corps International.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're a marching band
absolutely.
geek, and especially if you're a drumline geek like I am, you know who DCI is. You go to the shows. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I know our friend Axel, who is in the Marine Corps, is very familiar with DCI. In fact, I think they were just at DCI with the Marine Corps was doing the Commandant's Drum and Bugle Corps were doing an exhibit there, I think. Yeah. So anyway, so I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Marching Music Day. So put a little
Sousa. March around.
Yeah, put a little Sousa in your step and just
Is that Dr. Sousa? Is that the guy who wrote Green Eggs and Ham?
No, it is not.
So is that Stars and Stripes Forever that you're playing? I'm trying to name. Yeah, that has a killer piccolo solo in it.
Yeah, that's why I stopped it before we got there, because I didn't want you playing your air piccolo, because it is, although it's a good air piccolo, it's just not really suited for the, there it is. For those of you watching on YouTube, you saw it. For those of you listening on YouTube,
you wonder
open your eyes. Yeah.
That's awesome. When I was in college, I had a friend, my friend Chuck, who I will tag in this, tag in a post. My friend Chuck used to go work the Grand Nationals high school marching band competition every year in Indianapolis, I think it was. And I went with him one year. And we were called SWAGs, SWAG. That was on the back of our t-shirt. And it stood for Smart, Wise, ASS, Guess. And that's because if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, then you make a swag. You just guess and you give them some sort of answer. But it was really amazing.
Is ASS another acronym inside of SWAG? Smart, Wise, Always, Seriously, Silly.
I'm trying not to swear.
Why? Because you have to say ass?
I'm at school.
Okay, if you can have up lighting and mood lighting, you can certainly say ass. All right, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
well, I did.
Went to Grand Nationals. It was amazing.
That's cool. I did want to ask you one thing. We're for the shared experience today. Are we? Oh, all right. Let's just back it up. Okay, I didn't mean to crack into that so quickly. So, okay, but
just giving me the rump around.
The what?
The rump around. So stupid.
It's no Sousa pun, but
it's no Sousa pun.
All right.
Anyway, so we wanted to talk about a little bit more about traveling. I know we've talked about traveling a lot, but we've been doing a lot of traveling a lot. Yeah. So there's that.
And we like to travel.
But one thing that's interesting to talk about is time zones. And so today we're going to talk about time zones.
Before you, let me interject here. So 2 years ago, Katie and I went to California, and we're on the California West Coast time zone, and which is 3 hours different. I'm going to praise you, so don't make that face at me. So keep moving so your uplighting doesn't come on again. 2 years ago, okay, why don't you just play your air piccolo?
Just keeping the lights on.
Wow. So 2 years ago, when we went to California, Katie was constantly trying to figure out what time it was back home. She goes, oh, I think part of the reason I'm so tired is because it's noon back home, or part of the reason I'm so hungry is, because it's 9 p.m. back home, or part of the reason I'm so sober is because it's 6 a.m. back home. And so I'm like, look, when you travel, and I had told her this ahead of time, I didn't make it as big of a deal as I obviously should have, but I said, when you get where you're going, just jump on that time zone. Just, you're in that time zone. Doesn't matter. And we had a little pre-brief before this trip to California. And I have to say, Katie, and I'm publicly praising you, that you did not once make any reference to any other time zone. You would always say, hey, what time is it? 7 p.m. Okay, it's time for dinner. Or you did fantastic. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
But that's always been my number one time zone tip. Time zone tip is that, just this tip, is that you always jump onto the time. You don't jump on. Okay, back up. Okay.
Do you have any
Katie's
time
like
zone tips for
Katie's
us,
like
Mo?
so nervous right now. So the tip I want to jump onto is that when you get to a new time zone, you commit to that time zone. So again, when we landed in
And that's
California,
it.
thank God our watches automatically update. If you want to hear a funny story about when your watch doesn't auto update, I'll tell you a story about my mom and her boyfriend. Contact me later. But your watch automatically updates, and so I always tell people just jump on that time zone. So if you land and it's 9 p.m., have your nightcap and then go to bed. Don't try to stay up and try to adjust and stuff like that. So
I have to
I'm
tell you
publicly
something
praising
funny
you.
that,
Get,
thank you, Molly. I have to tell you something funny that happened though Monday. While we were in Chicago. So here's the cool thing flying home from Santa Barbara. We were in every time zone. We left Santa Barbara at 7 p.m. Pacific. We landed in Phoenix, Arizona, which is mountain time. I don't know what time we landed there. I think it was around midnight. Then we flew to Chicago, which is Central Time. That was around 4 a.m. And then we flew to Baltimore, BWI, which is Eastern Time zone. So we hopped all 4 time zones in about 12 hours.
yeah.
My watch died in Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know
My
that.
Apple Watch died in Chicago. So when I got home, I laid down, I had to teach. I had laid down, tried to take a little nap, put my phone on the charger. Well, when I got up to go teach, I picked up my watch and my watch was still in Central Time Zone.
Oh, yikes.
So I was an hour off on my schedule. And my watch was like 4 o'clock. And I was like, I thought it was 5 o'clock. And it took it a second to like catch
Oh,
up.
yikes.
It panicked me for a second. I'm like, I thought I was expecting this student, but I'm really expecting this student. It was really funny. So
Yeah.
anyway,
No, that's legit. Yeah.
it was kind of funny.
The other thing that screws me up, and this is kind of all just like time hopping, is when you do the time change, especially when you're flying. Like imagine if we had done that trip
Yes.
and it was the spring forward, because Arizona, I don't think does the spring forward fallback.
Mm-mm.
So we would have
Arizona
been
and
on
Indiana, I think.
Yeah, so just imagine that same trip, but happening because we flew home on well, it would have made sense if we flew home on Saturday night / Sunday, but
Sunday to Monday. Yeah.
I will sometimes not book travel arrangements because I have this. I'm weird about time, and I will flat out. And Katie has seen it, and Katie puts up with it. But I am weird about time. Like if I find out that I'm flying over a time switch Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday, I will change my tickets and add an extra day or because I freak out because I don't trust anything. I no longer trust anything. So like my watch, I don't trust it. The microwave, I don't trust anything. I'm like, nope, it didn't catch up. That's the wrong. I'm going to miss my flight or I'm going to be.
This is the takeaway from today's podcast. Mo does not trust the microwave.
Nope.
Just merch that. Put it on a mug.
Yeah.
Mo does not trust
Episode 69. Yeah. Is that what we're on at 69?
I think so.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, next week's episode 70. That's
exciting.
The other thing that I find fascinating, and it was funny because, well, first of all, we had no idea what day it was when we were traveling. So Mo and I were getting dinner on Friday, and she goes, "Was Saturday Night Live supposed to be new tonight?" And I said, "Well, it's Friday." So, but then I asked the next night on Saturday, I asked Alan Irwin. Hi, Alan.
Hi,
who
Alan.
is our trivia or our improv mentor and trivia cohort. I said, Alan, what time does Saturday Night Live show in California? And he said they show it at 11:30. So they hold it and re-show at 11:30. Now, when my husband and I lived in Alabama, Saturday Night Live was on at 10:30.
So can they call it? So can they call it?
It's amazing to me.
Yeah, but it's not Saturday Night Live then for the West Coasters.
For California, it's not. Sometimes when they do specials, I think they do them at the real time. But usually, he said they show it at 11:30.
Huh.
So Mountain Time, I don't know what y'all do. So what time?
Oh, they don't care. They're skiing and in some Swiss chalet. Everybody in the Mountain Time Zone is skiing. That's it.
That's all they do is just ski.
Yeah, but I don't want to stereotype anybody. Yeah, so.
Yeah. I apologize if you're hearing extra noise. The middle school English class down the hall from me just got dismissed.
It's real life.
Of little middle school voices.
It's uplighting.
Life, baby.
It's earrings hitting AirPods. It's time zones. It's untrustworthy watches and untrustworthy microwaves.
This is all because you can't trust the microwave. That's why.
Hey,
Mo, you have done. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say we need to order new coasters. That might be the hashtag from
that's the new
from
coaster.
this one.
Yeah. That's right. you've done like some crazy time zone travel though, because you've flown around the world. So how do you like reconcile? You wake up in another city and it's a whole different day. Like, how does that work?
Honestly, and honestly, that's,
hallway.
I can't hear it. So
Sorry, the middle schoolers are singing in the hallway. Well, it's lovely. Anyway,
awesome.
Go ahead.
Well, so, it's interesting when thinking about this one as we were kind of preparing for this is I do, nope. That was another butt joke. Just the second one. But I do subscribe to the just jumping on whatever time zone it is. But I will tell you the most screwed up I've ever been. And this is how this went. So I flew from Japan direct back to California when I was flying the C5s. And we left at noon on Sunday, Japan time. And we flew, I can't remember how long the flight was, flew back to California and landed at, I want to say 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. And so for the life of me, I don't know if I went back in time or if I'm older because I lived Sunday morning twice. It is the screwiest thing. When you start putting the international date line in there, it's just...
I was going to say.
Yeah. So
if you left Japan like first thing in the morning, you would have arrived the day before.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll never forget that. We left at noon on Sunday from Tokyo, or from Japan. It wasn't exactly Tokyo, but we left from Japan at noon on Sunday, and I landed at like 8 a.m. in California on Sunday. And it screwed me. I mean, it took me about 2 days to get over that jet lag. It was ridiculous.
I'm sure.
It was ridiculous.
I'm sure. That's crazy.
So I will preface, I will use that to preface that when we start doing our live show and we go international, if there's an international date line we're flying over, like when we're going to Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, we're going to stay for a while because I'm not, so clear
That's
your
right.
schedule now because I'm not, it sucked. Or we'll just go west and we'll just keep going west. Yeah.
Make us some sushi. We'll just keep circling the globe backwards. Isn't that what Superman does to turn back time? He flies around the globe backwards really fast.
What does that have to do with sushi?
That's in one of the Superman movies.
Oh, is that Asian Superman?
If I could turn back time.
A Superman with a share fetish.
So listeners, here's your call to action. Tell us what, how you do with time zones. What's your crazy adjustment? The other thing I can't seem to do is my sister lives in Nashville, Central Time Zone. When she and I make plans, I always figure the hour the other direction. And I'm 2 hours off. Like if she says, okay, something at 5 o'clock, I'm thinking it's 4 o'clock for me, which is really 6 o'clock for me. So I've done that so many times. And she
and it's funny is like, even when I make calendar invites, like I don't trust anything, not even just the microwave, but like somebody, I had a call yesterday and somebody sent me the calendar invite and it was in a different time zone. But and I think the computer does a pretty good job it does better than the microwave at adopting it so that what you see on your computer, but I got the calendar invite while we were in California. So again, I have trust issues and I have time issues and microwave issues. So because I accepted the invite when I was in California, I just was going through the email. I'm just confirming, I'm calling, I'm verifying. I just did not trust anything I saw. Now, as it was, I made it on time, or the two ladies were very nice and just said, hi.
Just like, whatever.
you're 3 hours late or early, but whatever. But
but it's nice to see you.
Yeah. But so that's the thing is that, like, just kind of like your Apple Watch, you just assume that your technology, not your microwave, is going to just adjust and update. So when you see something that doesn't jive, like because the technology is still updating or, getting its battery life back, you're like, who, and then you distrust everything. Except for John Philip Sousa.
So the moral of this story is trust nothing.
Yeah. Especially not the microwave.
Get a sundial and make it work yourself. That's the lesson we learned.
Unless you live in a cloudy area. Anyway, yes, call to action is time zone tips, tricks, stories. We want to know it all. And sushi eating Superman with a share fetish. Get that image out of your face. That's right.
And John Philip Sousa. So there you go.
Asian Superman with a John Philip Sousa share cover band fetish.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
We need a graphic artist. Who can draw that? Someone draw that.
Make it happen, everybody.
All right.
Well, I'm excited, Mo, now that you've mentioned next week is our 70th show.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I feel like
we planned it just for the Today Show.
Streamers or something.
Yeah, just like the Today Show.
Right.
Yeah. And I think what is the 70th anniversary? It's not paper or what? It might be toilet paper.
Google it if you
just
like.
To keep the
Do
butt
people
jokes
even
going.
make it that long?
We did.
70th.
Well, we haven't made it yet. So. Is it the wood anniversary? No.
Yeah, I did 7th instead of 70th because apparently typing is an issue for me. All right, 70th anniversary. What is the traditional? You ready? It's platinum.
All right. Y'all get us something. I would really have. What was 7th? What's 7th?
Titanium hip.
What's 70? What's 7th?
There's also a flower for each anniversary. Did you know that?
What's a dandelion?
7th, copper.
Both of those are just lackluster. So what is 70th again? Plutonium? What? Platinum. That's pretty close. Okay, so
what we need to do between now and next week, make a record and hope it sells well, and then platinum. Bam.
Perfect. The record, ironically enough, the record will be Asian Superman singing Cher in a John Philip Sousa march style.
There it is.
Bum bum ba dum bum 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 bum. If I could turn back time.
Dun 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 dun. Dun
dun dun dun. I forget all the other words now. Anyway, okay. And of course, last night at trivia was music themed, so that's important. Yes, good stuff.
Guys, look, if you're local or even if you're not, darn it, get yourself out to Ten Eyck Brewery at 7:30 p.m. on Thursdays. Mo and I are doing trivia, and it is perhaps the most fun you will have all week. I'm just saying.
Perhaps.
It's really fun.
It's more fun than an Asian Superman eating sushi while singing Shared Up with John Philip Sousa. Trust in his microwave.
Take that, you windbags. All right.
Take that, Dave Thomas, in your windbag. Wendy's bag. All right. Well,
I will save us from this craziness with a gratitude quote for today.
Too late.
This quote comes from G.K. Chesterton. I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder.
What? There was math in there.
I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought. Okay, got that part?
Thanks is the highest.
And that gratitude. Okay, got it? Okay.
Got it.
Gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder.
Okay.
That was exactly the reaction I was hoping for my gratitude.
Well,
Okay.
It's no trustworthy microwave, but it'll do.
Well, friends, thanks for listening and hanging out with us today. We'll be back. We'll play a game next week, Moe. I'll come up with something for us to do for a game, because that is a fun part. But again, shout out to all of our Story to Standing Ovation new listeners, guys. And we'd love all of you to get on the platform that you listen and rate us. Give us all the stars you can give us.
Yes.
Please.
1.5 thumbs up is the same as 5 stars.
That's right.
That is the highest rating you can give.
And share us with your friends. You know your friends need some gratitude, humor, positivity. You know they do. Come on now. Share us with your friends. 1.5 thumbs up.
All righty. I'll go let you deal with those second graders out in the hallway. I'm craving sushi. I'm not sure why.
Okay. All right. Fine.
All right. Well, I will close
by saying something.
Are you going to stop talking? How do I mute her? I will close by saying, number 1, Katie's muted. Number 2, be grateful, keep laughing, and stay positive. Hello, silence, my old friend.
Hello.
Oh, shh. How'd you do that?
The host muted you because we're co-hosts. We're there.
I'm gonna go renew my contract. All right. I'm gonna go do trust falls with my microwave. I will talk to you later.
Have a great week. Okay, bye.
Bye. See you on Plutonium anniversary. Platinum? Platinum. What did I say? Plutonium. Platinum? I hardly know him. Okay. Okay, I have to end this. No, I don't want some weird things.
Okay, end it.
If you made it this far, congrats.
Woo-hoo!
You are part of our elite tribe of weirdos, and there aren't too many people who like us like you do. But that's where we need your help. Rate, subscribe, follow, and share this podcast.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Follow us on social media and tag us in any of your Mo and Katie Show interactions.
Because we give you homework
Using the hashtag TMKSPod.
The Mo and Katie Show has been produced, edited, scripted, recorded, catered, directed, and engineered by Mo and Katie. Our theme song is It Is Fun by HookedSounds.com.
Here's wishing you gratitude, humor, and positivity until we see you next time.